with a known personal brand in her space, then I think as an entrepreneurial parent, then that is the biggest thing that I can ask for. Hey guys, it's Matt Haycox here, and today I'm super excited to be with the guest that I would have been filming with from day one if I could, but she's been hiding in the background. She's far too shy. I almost don't even believe we share the same DNA. But anyone who follows me on social or anyone who knows me personally knows this is Harlie Haycox, Harlie the Equestrian, Harlie Bean, and many of the other aliases that she goes by. And Harlie's my daughter, she's 13, and today we're going to be talking about social media, about YouTube, but particularly her social media and YouTube. And what we're going to do with this, hopefully, if she doesn't turn back to being shy after today, is we're going to make this into like a little series of kind of Q&As with me and Harlie, and hopefully try and document her journey, trying to grow her social, grow her Instagram, grow her YouTube, and use it as kind of a training ground for you guys. One of the things I kind of always talk to you guys about is everything I've learned from my experience of starting from the ground up with my channels, whether that's Insta, YouTube, Facebook, any of the platforms I'm doing. And when you get to see me with other guests, again, one of the things that I always talk about with them is how they've taken a platform they already had, almost that they were fortunate enough to be gifted with, almost, because they've walked out of Love Island or they've walked out of Towie or whatever that may be, and that's given them this huge platform that they can then go on and monetize. But for 99.9% of the rest of us, probably all of you guys watching this, and me included and Harlie included, we have to start from scratch. I haven't got the abs to get me on Love Island, so I've got to start from the ground up with 0 followers, and Harlie's not allowed on Love Island. She's not even allowed to watch it. So we've got to start from the basics. Today we're going to be talking about a top tip for growing your channel. We're going to be talking about trolls and haters. That's something that's always on my agenda, but I think specifically important with the youngsters. And what else are we going to talk? Well, you're going to have some questions for me. But before we start, are you going to do it, or are you going to ignore it? You're going to think about it?
Yeah.
Okay. we can talk about that one at home later. Why have you finally decided, after 2 years of me hammering you, what has finally helped you make the decision to go on YouTube?
Well, if I didn't do it now, then I'd never really get around to doing it, ever. But before, I was just worried about what other people would think, like at school. But I wasn't really bothered what people online would think that I didn't know.
But at school, do people say things to people? Do people make jokes at each other?
Well, no one at school in my year's done anything on YouTube yet.
Oh, so. Really? You're the first one?
Yeah.
Have some of the older people done it?
I'm not sure, really.
Okay, so one of the things we were going to talk about was like trolls online, if you like, haters online. Why are you not bothered what they say?
Well, I just think if you're bothered about what people online think, you're never really going to get anywhere doing anything.
Well, 100%. You know how many people tell me that I'm fat online, don't you? Is that what helped? But that's always something I tell you. It's something that I always talk about with these guys as well. That I know it might be easy to say when it's not being said to you, but ultimately, if somebody's life is about going on somebody else's profile to look at you and make like horrible comments about you, like how shit must their life be, really? I mean, that's all I can say. And also, once you've got people who don't even know you, saying bad things about you, then you know you're a success, right? Yeah. Because at least enough people are seeing your stuff out there. So tell us what your channel's going to be about. Tell us about you.
Well, I was just going to do like what I do with the horses, and then I've made it just a normal channel so I can do things other than horsey things to get more viewers to come and see it, not just like one targeted audience. And
what's the end game? What are you hoping to achieve with it?
I was hoping to, like, in a couple of years maybe get monetized or something, but not sure yet.
Cool. And that's something that I think, I want to say to you guys at home, because I'm sure lots of people might look at this and say, why is Matt forcing Harley to do it, and he's pushing her into it and blah blah blah. Absolutely not at all. Listen, if I was pushing her into it, she'd have been doing it 2 years ago. Yes, I've completely tried to encourage her, tried to motivate her to do it, but ultimately, while she is a shy little mouse, she also certainly knows her own mind, and she won't do anything that she doesn't want to do. But for me, the real reason I've wanted to try and push her on it is that ultimately we all have a personal brand, whether it's a public personal brand or whether it's a private personal brand, and that is what social media is all about. That is what growing your business and growing your network is all about. That you are building your personal brand, building your profile in public, and the bigger that profile is, the more people that touch, then the more, let's say, success in whatever way you want to look at that, whether that's looking at monetization opportunities or whether it's just looking at giving you more opportunities in life because more people know who you are. So, if I could encourage Harley to do one thing now, listen, obviously as a parent, I want to say, play the piano, go to tennis, certainly go to tennis instead of horse riding, because for any other parents out there whose kids have taken up riding, believe me, I bet we all wish he took up swimming down with you. It's so bloody expensive. But I can try and encourage and all these things, but ultimately she's only going to like the things that she wants to do. But whatever it is she likes, if there is one thing I could or had to force on her, it would be that she grows her personal brand around the things that she enjoys doing. And again, I planned on keeping today's chat shortish, but I've got other ideas as I'm talking that I want to throw in there. And when we talk about doing the things that she wants to do, it's so important in any brand that it's authentic. And right now, Harley's thing is horses. If she tried to make a channel around tennis or around the guitar or whatever it's going to be, she's going to lose interest overnight. And you guys who watch it are going to know that she doesn't care about what she's doing. But like I say, if she could walk out of school, at 18, ready to walk into uni with a known personal brand in her space, then I think as an entrepreneurial parent, then that is the biggest thing that I can ask for. Listen, obviously I'd like to think she's going to do well in her GCSEs or do well in her A-levels, etc. as well. But I would be I'm much happier knowing that she comes out of school doing what she loves and enjoys, but having built a brand around it. So I guess that's why I've tried to push it, but it's not happened to now. But at least I can try and encourage it now, and I want to give her all the help that she can get, because obviously I've got resource I can give to her, and I've been through this journey myself, and I'm going to be going on this journey for a long time. So you had two things you wanted to ask me, or two things you wanted to talk about.
Well, I have 2 accounts on my Instagram, so do you think it would be better to just have like one account where I put everything on it, or have 2 different ones? So
100%, and this is something I've been trying to push you for a long time. I 100% think you should just have one account, right? And I think this is something that people do. In general, they try and separate their business life from their personal life, or they separate their hobby from their friends, or whatever it is that they're trying to separate. Ultimately, for you as a person, for you as a brand, everything that you do is you. So, and that's what makes you special. That's what makes you unique, and that's what makes people buy into you. And I think there's many answers to the question, but I think it's also really important to kind of show that variety. That's why. So again, for you guys at home who have a business and say, well, my business life is this and my personal life is that. Absolutely not at all. The reason people want to do business with you is because they get you as a person, or they buy into you, they resonate with you as an individual. So when you say that you don't want to show your personal life to your business contacts, these people who do business with you don't actually think you don't have a personal life. You're actually not helping your business by hiding your personal life. You're actually, if anything, inhibiting it, because the more people buy into you as an individual and get you, then the more likely they are to do business with you. So for me, back in the context with you, I think you should have the one Instagram account. I think it should be just on your name, because what you're trying to grow is the brand Harley Haycox, and I guess whilst you'll never ever believe it today, there may be a day that you don't like horses. I don't think there will either, but for me, this is about building the Harley Haycox brand and documenting your lifestyle and people buying into you. That's mixing you with your school friends, you with your horse friends, you with your family, and I think also when you only have one account, you only have one thing to promote. When you have two accounts, you have two things to promote. And if you look at a lot of celebrities who have massive Instagram followings and personal brands, and then they start a business and they do an Instagram account for that business, and the number of followers and the amount of engagement that they have on that business account is tiny, absolutely tiny, compared to what they have on their personal account, because ultimately people don't really care. They like that person from Love Island, or they like that person from Towie. If that person from Towie is selling ladies' underwear, then many people who aren't interested in the underwear are never going to follow that. But for me, they or you need to mix all your brands under one space. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Are you going to do it, or are you going to ignore it? Are you going to think about it?
Yeah.
Okay. we can talk about that one at home later. Go on, and what else? Go on. One more question. I know you want some yo sushi, so come on.
So, what if people are being mean to me online or something? Like, should I respond to those, or how should I?
I think you should do. I think it depends what they're saying. When I get mean things online, sometimes I do one of three things. If people are being mean on my page about other people, then I delete the comments. I always delete the comments. I'm not necessarily bothered to delete them about me, unless it was something really bad. Like if someone was writing something about you on my page, then of course I'm going to delete it. But otherwise, I either ignore it, or I kind of respond in a way to try and make fun out of them and make them look stupid, or I try and be nice and kill it with kindness, if that makes sense. Because the one thing that actually is important is that to get your posts more popular and to get more traction on your page, all these comments are important. So yes, we'd rather have nice comments on there, but any comment helps, good or bad. It all helps the algorithm. It all pushes it up there. So even if you can get into a back and forth conversation with a hater, it is actually going to help. It is actually going to help your platform.
Yeah. So,
anything else? Good. You can have one more question before lunch.
What's the quickest way to try and grow my YouTube or Instagram?
Collaborations, 100%. Any way you can partner with other people to help introduce you to their audience and vice versa, that is the fastest way to growth. I think one of the big things that people misunderstand is that the content that you put on your page isn't what gets you followers. Okay, it gets some. If but everyone's trying to put content out there and hope that they get onto the Instagram search page or the YouTube search page, etc. But there's so many people competing for that attention that it's like the same chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah.
So what people need to understand is the content you put on your page is what keeps your followers. That's what makes them stay with you, that's what makes them engage with you, that's what helps build your brand, but it's not what gets you the followers in the first place. The followers come from other people collaborating with you, giving you shout outs, whether that's you go on somebody else's YouTube channel and you record a video together, and then you record another video together on your channel and swap it around, you get friends to shout you out, etc. But I think when you do shout outs for people, I think it's important to have a purpose for it as well, because I know you do a lot of shout outs for your friends and vice versa, but almost with no reason. Do you know what I mean? You just say, oh, follow this person, follow that person, and the person feels good that you've done it. But the reality is, no one's really going to follow them. They probably can't even be bothered to go and look at their page unless there's actually a reason. You would get much more value out of doing a TikTok together, or doing a 10-second Instagram story or something. Showing the people why they should follow that. And again, I suppose this is like a mistake I made in the first place when let's say if I had celebrity friends or influencer friends who've got loads and loads and loads of followers, and I'd say, right, post this picture of me and tell people to follow me. And I've had an example even recently, someone with 700,000 or 800,000 followers at the time said something about, here's Matt, go follow. I think it got me like 4 new followers or something. Like almost like a waste of time. But then when I actually started doing collaborative work with these people, we're filming together, we're posting together, all of a sudden, the number of follows and the amount of engagement spikes because they see us together, they get to know me and decide if they like me or not, and that works better. So definitely do collaborations, but also the answer is one thing alone doesn't work. One shout out, one collaboration, you've got to hammer it and hammer it and hammer it and blanket it, because the amount of people actually get to see your content organically, that's without paying to show it, is micro. It's like absolutely minimal. So hammer, 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 and that's a good start. Happy?
Yeah.
We're gonna get some lunch.
Yeah.
Right, guys, 3 or 4 or 5 questions there. I hope you like this. She spoke a lot more than I thought she was going to speak. Actually, I'm super excited that we can make this into a series. So if you've got questions for me, or if you've got questions for Harlie, because as well as Harlie gets more experienced at this, she's going to have her own things that she's learnt work for her. And I'm going to learn some things off her as well, and this will be good, like I say, for all of us to share our audience together. And if you like horses, you can follow Harlie on Instagram at Harlie
Haycox Eventing.
Harlie Haycox Eventing. That's HarlieHaycox Eventing. You can spell it. And she's only just started a YouTube channel, so she doesn't have a named address yet, do you?
No.
It's like a weird number. So
no, it's Harlie Haycox. It has got a name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, look for a Harlie Haycox on YouTube, you'll find her. And as always, if this is the first time you've seen me, you can check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I am at @TheMattHaycox on everything. That's TheMattHaycox. And if you like this video and you want to see more like this, then subscribe, and you'll see part 2 of this series, and you get to see some of my other videos as well, where I'm always trying to create good content with well-known and inspirational people. So thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you again soon.